say.
If there's a request to the boards to have it come to a vote, do the boards have any reason not to automatically approve it, or would there be any reason not to approve it?
If there,
how's that?
My understanding is if
work?
the petitions meet the petition requirements,
then the boards have no choice. They have to accept.
There'll be a vote.
Okay.
Yeah, the citizens have brought it to a vote by simply by their petitions.
Okay.
Now, I did not read that again before tonight, but there's a % of the registered voters, or 400 votes per
400.
district, or some number. And, you know, somebody from Wall Lake Auburn District could go out tomorrow, and somebody from Sacs District could go out tomorrow and bring those two petitions to the courthouse, and there could be an election. And I don't think the board necessarily would have to be involved in it at all. Now, that wouldn't seem like probably how a committee would work. But in some school districts, there have been some really crazy things happen in schools where schools have put off doing things, and so citizens will just say, you know what, we're going to take it to a vote then. And they go get the necessary petitions signed, and they take it to the board and say, you guys won't move, we're asking for a vote. Do you want to tell us when you want the vote, or do you want us just to go, because the citizens could ask to have that vote take place.
So you could do this before those signatures, afterwards, or at the same time. You could be working on this while you're getting signatures.
Absolutely.
Barb, could you give someone the information about the whole grade sharing financial part, and then the incentive for the consolidation part?
Okay, I think...
I mean, not now, but, I mean, do you have that information where
sure.
you could give that to a group?
Sure.
Because I think that's powerful, but you really have to... It's confusing. And I know where people out in the community, I get confused sometimes, where they would get confused about that. And I just wondered if you could answer those questions for
Sure.
them.
Actually, I think that I have in here a spreadsheet, and all you do is drop in what your first date for whole grade sharing was, the first year, and then it takes you through the 6-year timeline. And if you don't move right from whole grade sharing directly into reorganization, and if there's any time in between there, because remember, the 3rd year of whole grade sharing incentive has to come directly before the 1st year of reorganization incentive money. So it just fills that timeline in for you, and it's very easy to understand. It's visual in a spreadsheet, and it takes the years, and it counts them as year 1 of whole grade sharing, year 2. Now, theoretically, this could all happen in a 6-year time period. That's how the legislation was based. 3 years of whole grade sharing, 3 years of reorganization. So there's a total of 6 years of funding. But let's say that we're in the situation we're in right now. If there's not a vote for reorganization between now and November 1st, and we know that would have to be by the 2nd Tuesday in September, then there will be at least 1 year with no incentive funding if, in fact, that vote passed for the subsequent year. Because that 3rd year has to come just before year 1 of the reorganized vote. And you can see why. Their incentives are to cause schools to reorganize, not just a whole grade share. They want reorganized school districts, not just whole grade sharing districts. But lots of schools won't, so they'll fund for 3 years and they'll be done. Well, no, they won't fund for 3 years, because this legislation says we'll fund you for 2 years. Because if you don't have a reorganization vote, you're not going to get the 3rd year. And it's sort of like bait, to be perfectly honest. And it's substantial enough that districts consider it simply for financial reasons.
Is just a majority of the voters would make it pass? In each district?
I'm not going to be able to answer that. And I know I looked it up last time, but I don't know. I want to say it's 60%, but I'd have to look it up.
Do you think it's a supermajority? I don't think so. I think it's a simple majority.
Of the people that vote?
In each district.
It's not.
I don't know. What % did Wall Lake and Lakeview Auburn have to have? Do you remember? Because it hasn't changed. Well, the first time, for sure. It did. Let me look. I think I have it in here somewhere. The petition method of reorganization to call for a vote requires 20% of the qualified electors or 400 qualified electors in each district. Okay? 20% of qualified voters or 400 qualified voters in each district. And that wouldn't be in each community, but in each district. Majority vote in each district to pass.
Okay.
Majority vote.
So if we would vote in November and say it would not pass, because we tried...
Well, we'd have to vote in September. And it didn't pass.
Would we still get incentive money because we tried?
No.
No E for effort, huh?
No. And remember, the money is a year behind the actual sharing. So this year, 2008-9, we're actually receiving the money from the first year of whole grade sharing. That's for students and teachers. Then that whole separate pool of money is the shared positions like transportation director and business manager and superintendent. That's a 5-year schedule. That just goes on at 100%, 80%, 60%. That goes a straight 5 years, whatever the schools decide to do.
How long in between votes if it doesn't pass?
I just read that, and this actually is being debated right now because it says that you must wait 6 months to file a petition, but that's under the old election system. And Iowa Association of School Boards has filed a complaint saying that you got to reconsider that 6 months if you're only going to have elections on such limited basis during the school year or during the year. So a September election, the soonest, if that 6 months would be waived, would be February 1st of 2010. And then that would put the district the soonest after that the districts could vote would be February. Because in even school years, school board election dates are February, April, September, and December. And
then the reorganization part would take effect in 2011?
Nope.
July 1st?
2012, because we would have missed the November 2009.
2011.
2011.
July of 2011.
Yes.
Okay.
And in 2010, if they let a school vote this often, there could be a February, an April, and a September vote, or opportunities for votes. The September votes are always the second Tuesday of September. The Februarys and the Aprils are always the first Tuesday. June is always the last Tuesday. And December is the first Tuesday.
I don't think we want a June vote for some reason. People aren't used to voting then, and people are kind of...
I know, but if we had a June vote, we don't have much time to get ready for a June vote.
No, I'm just saying.
All you need is 400 signatures. And then you're ready.
May think we're ready, yeah.